What's your name, son? Where are you from?
My name is Coleridge Tillman. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. Coleridge Tillman?
Yes, sir.
What's God done for you?
Well, see, I wasn't always like a bad person. I was just like, I did some bad things. I was a good guy, did some bad things. And I had just got suspended from school, and I was like out of school for a week, and I was just, I had to go to work with my dad. I was out of school. My mom said, we're going to Florida tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So,
turn right here a little bit, everybody can see.
So she said, we're going to Florida tomorrow. So I was like, okay, going to Florida tomorrow. So we get in the car, and, we're on our way to Florida, and she goes, we're on our way to Revival. And I'm like, okay, Revival, that sounds good, okay. Get to Revival, and I walk in the door, and I feel something heavy in my chest, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just because it's a little cooler in here than it was outside, nothing big. I go upstairs, I have a seat. I have a seat, and I see this guy, and he's walking by, and he's jerking real bad, and I look down the aisle at Doug, and I go, Doug, what's wrong with the guy? I didn't know his name then. I go, what's wrong with that guy? Is he retarded? And he goes, no, that's the power of God. And I'm like, aha!
I got a feeling Birmingham will never be the same, man. Let me ask this question. You wasn't like this before you came to church last night, was you?
No, this was like last month. This is the good part of this.
Oh, this has been going on in mine. I thought you looked like you were seasoned in this thing.
This happened in May. And I was sitting at the end of the thing, and I was like, I thought I had pretty much figured God out. I was like, God moves like this, he does this, he does this. Come down here and God does none of that. He does something altogether different. So I was sitting there and I'm like, that's not gonna happen to me. And he goes, why not? I said, because I'm much too cool for that. And I happened to have my legs crossed at the time. And when I set my leg down, it didn't move anymore. It just stayed there. And he was like, come on, let's go downstairs. I was like, okay. So I couldn't move my leg. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why can I not move my leg? And my sister comes up, and my sister's a real scared person. She goes, oh my God, he's broke his leg. He's broke his leg. So she runs to go get my mom. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? Are you hurt? I'm like, no, I just can't move my leg. So mom had to help me hop down the stairs. And then all of a sudden I just start, power of God just came over me, and I just start going crazy. I just couldn't stop. Well, to make a long story short, I came back to Birmingham, and like I said, I had just got suspended from school, and I came back to school, and everybody was looking at me, and I was wondering what they were looking at. Because I had thought, what are you looking at? Huh? And everybody just kept looking at me. I'm like, what are you looking at? And I have friends that are like gang members, because I don't live in a bad part of town, but I know some people, you know what I'm saying? And they were like,
Okay.
So I'm up there, and I'm like, I'm trying to tell them what God had done for me, and they're like, that's got to be fake. And I'm like, okay, do this. If you think it's fake, if you think that God doesn't move, if you don't believe that there's a God, you go home tonight. I'll pray with you at my house. You pray at yours, and you tell God to do what he did for me, for you. Just that simple. I challenge people because I like to be challenged. They like to be challenged. He went home, he prayed, he came back the next day, he said, man, I have never experienced anything like that in my life.
So he said he never experienced nothing like that. Did he get saved? That's the key. Did he get saved?
Well, see, he had already been baptized like years earlier. He came to my church earlier and got baptized. And then, like, you could just, I mean, he didn't come out and say, well, I'm saved now, but you can just tell by the way he walks and talks. He used to curse every sentence. I mean, it was like, well, why? Every time he said something, he was cursing. No more bad words. I mean, he's the most pleasant person to talk to. He's left the gang alone. I mean, God is just really moving in his life. And I just thought I might want to come here and share with you.
You know what? God's got his hand on you, man. He's going to use you. He's going to use you. You know something else? Birmingham needs somebody like you, man. God bless you. Give him a hand.